Welcome everyone to another broadcast of West Washington Livestream here at West Washington, where the Lady Senators do take on the Lady Cougars of Trinity Lutheran. I'm joined tonight by my broadcast partner, Mr. Matthew Deaton.
Hello, Senator fans. It's going to be a big night of basketball, and there's basketball all over the school, in elementary and at both high schools. But tonight's action with this girls' varsity matchup, it's shaping up to be a good ball game.
That is true. The last time these two teams met was the sectional final on the floor in Edinburgh, where the Lady Senators were able to come out victorious, win their sectional championship there, and then travel on to the regional at Springs Valley. That game was definitely one that the Senators put in their record book. They were very happy with that outcome, and they're hoping they can do the same thing tonight. Different players. The Senators do graduate two key players from that sectional championship team last year, Maddie Bausman and Hattie Griffiths. Likewise, the Lady Cougars graduated one. Their point guard was a big, key player for them. They did graduate her, but do return quite a solid group, along with an incoming freshman who is, if not their best player, one of their top two. She comes in, Bailey Tabling, averaging 23 points a game. Talking, the first couple of games of the year, if you have 23 in a couple of games and, you're averaging 23, that's a pretty good job as a freshman. They're 17 games into their season, and she's averaging 23.
Yeah, and again, as a freshman, that's just, you don't hear that a lot, and I'm sure it's going to be the first time I've got to see her play, and we'll enjoy that. And I'm sure Coach Russell has spent some time with a game plan to try to stop her efficiency, and going back to that sectional title game, we was really able to take them out of their game. It seemed like, and they weren't able to utilize their strengths with the Janes girl, and we'll see if we can do a little bit of that again tonight.
That's one of those easier said than done. The Janes. Sydney Janes is one who has been at Trinity Lutheran for 3 years, averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds this year, kind of a do-it-all player. At points, she can take over the point guard duty. She can play in the post, has range out to 15 to 17 feet, just a all-around good basketball player, hard to guard.
Yeah, and I certainly have, throughout the years, have seen her. She's a junior, so I bet you I've seen her, each time we've played them, seen her, play a handful of times, and has been a, kind of like when she was a freshman. She was impacting the game significantly as a freshman, just like the tabling girl looks to do. So, I think, like you say, they've got size. So, from our standpoint, not that we won't focus on getting the ball inside and trying to, impose our will there, but I do think it's going to be incumbent on our guards to play really good tonight, and we're going to have to hit some shots from the outside.
That's exactly the game plan. If I were coaching the Senators, the guards have to knock down some threes. Trinity does tend to like to sit in their 2-3 zone. We'll come out and play some zone, but with the Senators, that plays right into what they like to do. They like to shoot the three, so if you're going to play zone against them, that's right up their alley.
Yeah, and, we've seen it here, maybe the last home game that we did, or at least the last home game I did, Sarah Stice, was scored maybe 22 in that first half, and so we certainly have the ability to put up some points, and I'm not sure that, that our depth is going to be, of any advantage tonight, but, we're just going to have to get out there, hustle each play, and see where the ball goes.
We've talked about Trinity's top players. We've mentioned, Sarah Stice coming in averaging 17 for the Senators, but I think the key player to tonight's game is Cassidy Keltner. How does she respond to, the bigs for Trinity Lutheran? She's going to probably be guarded by the Janes girl or by Hannah Sabatin, who is an athlete in her own mind, a heck of a volleyball player, can jump, does all the dirty work for the team. Does the rebounds, the loose balls. She's all over the basketball court, getting those 50-50 balls for the Trinity Lutheran Cougars, and she makes the difference. So it's going to be a matter of how does Cassidy step up in this game, and what does she do? If you remember last year during sectional, Cassidy stepped up and had a huge game against Trinity Lutheran. Was able to get 2 fouls early on Sabatin. Then James came over and guarded her a little bit, picked up 2 fouls on her. So if Cassidy does the same tonight, Trinity is without 2 of their best 3 players.
Yeah, I do think it'll take Cassidy playing a good, aggressive ball game, and like you say, taking the game to them and not sitting back and trying to, allow them to do their thing. There's a lot to think about coming into this game. Trinity's, you said, number 2 in 1A coming into this ball game, 16-2 record, and I was looking on their schedule a little bit before the game, and their only loss is to Brownstown. And
they lost to them twice.
And Brownstown beat them by 7 or 8 the first time, and I think only beat them by 2 or 3 the second time.
Right.
So again, a good basketball team we have here in front of us, but that also means there's a great opportunity for the Senators to really make a statement for the rest of the season, and really a statement to themselves and prove themselves that hey, when we roll into sectional, we're going to be looking to repeat what we did last year.
And that's something that this team has to realize, that hey, you're going to play these next couple of teams again. You're going to see them through sectional, just the way the draw works out. You're going to see probably 2 of the 3 best in the sectional, just the way the draw works. And tonight's one of those nights where you can really set a tone. You can put that in the opposition's mind. Hey, we're the better team here.
Yeah, West Washington coming off a big win over Shoals, and Shoals not a real powerful program, but nonetheless, we got our legs stretched out over the break, and 30 December looked like the last time we laced them up and beat Shoals. So not a true comparison to what we might see tonight, but we are coming off a big win from a couple weeks ago.
Kind of a funny story. The Shoals game, I was there. And Ryan Russell played a really good game, came out and had 16. You thought high scorer of the game? Well, Sarah Stice stepped up, and I believe she put in 22. Ryan was able to knock that assist record all the way down to 1. She's trailing by 1 assist to be the all-time leading assist person for West Washington. Already has the steals record for the career. Looking for the assist. I believe she's around 115 points from 1,000. So she's reaching some milestones. Some Twitter work that I did earlier. Sydney Janes was a 1,000-point scorer in her last game. So she's already eclipsed that 1,000-point mark that Ryan's trying to get to tonight. So she would be, I believe, only the second 1,000-point scorer in girls' history. Misty Jones is the only other one if Ryan's able to make it there.
Yeah, it's certainly impressive, and to put there's been scores like you say, Misty Jones is the all-time leading scorer, but when you can put 1,000 points up in a career and then put a couple more records in the assist and steal column, it just shows that Ryan's a great all-around player and certainly a leader of this team, and we'll see. Again, she'll be tested tonight, but I think her leadership will show through tonight.
Yeah, definitely an interesting thing. Ryan, if you remember back to Ryan's freshman year, it was up until Christmas she was playing 3 quarters of JV, so only had 2 quarters that she was playing on the varsity, and able to get to that 1,000-point mark, in a career is a big deal. When you think about your freshman year, you only played half the season at varsity level.
Right.
So we're going to step aside, take a quick commercial break from the Washington County Community Foundation, which is one of our lovely sponsors for West Washington live stream with the boys and the girls basketball season, along throwing in some wrestling here and there. But they are a gracious sponsor, and we definitely appreciate that. Another quick shout out, we are live on the YouTube page right now, along with our Facebook page. But when the game starts, the Facebook page will come down. So if you're wanting to watch, make sure you get onto the YouTube page before the game actually starts. So we're going to step aside, have that commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
After 2 years of study and research, the Washington County Community Foundation launched its first proactive initiative, Youth First, in 2007. Their goal was to create a positive environment within the county where youth are valued, their needs come first, and investments are made in their well-being. In 2011, Youth First merged with the YMCA to best serve youth through their common commitments to youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. This merger allowed for further utilization of Youth First missions and the possibility to grow development assets in our community more initially.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Indiana did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
We're back here at West Washington, where the Lady Senators are taking on the Lady Cougars of Trinity Lutheran. We're about 20 seconds away from the national anthem, so we're going to step aside, have that national anthem, and we'll be back with starting lineups in just a moment. Back here live at West Washington, we're ready to start basketball action tonight. Lady Senators come in to tonight's game with a record of 7-6, where the Trinity Lutheran Cougars come in 16-2. Like we've said, their two losses are to Brownstown Central. Lady Cougars are coached by Mr. Mike Lang, 139-71 in his 9 years at Trinity Lutheran. They're going to start a three-guard set. Number 21, Bailey Tabling. Number 23, Kaylin Cockerham. And number 5, Emma Goker. They're going to be joined in the front court by number 15, Hannah Sabatin, and number 33, Sydney James. So they start a three-guard set against the Senators. Senators are going to go with their regular starting lineup. Number 3, Ryan Russell, averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, the senior. Like we said earlier, only 1 assist away from the school record. Number 5, Sarah Stice, the 5'7" junior, 17 points, 4 rebounds, the Senator sharpshooter. Then they're going to also start Lexi Griffiths in the backcourt. So they're three-guard set. Lexi is a 5'6" junior, averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds. Then up front, we get the two Keltner sisters. First, Lizzie Keltner, number 42, averaging 6 points, 7 rebounds, the freshman 6-footer. The last one in the starting five for the Lady Senators is the senior, 5'11", number 10, Cassidy Keltner, averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds. They are coached by Mr. Darren Russell, 67-49 in his 5 years here at West Washington, the winningest coach in Lady basketball history. Like we've said many times, the Lady Cougars are number 2 in 1A, only one spot behind the Lagodi Lions, which I know that the Lady Cougars are looking ahead a little bit, seeing that possible matchup of 1 and 2 at regional, but the Senators are hoping that they can throw a wrench in that and them be able to go to the regional, which will be hosted here on this floor along with sectional. So big night here for the Lady Senators to try to put that taste in the Lady Cougars' mouth of, hey, we're the best team. It's our sectional. We're going to win it on our home floor.
Absolutely, yeah, and certainly nothing like a must-win game. It's just, I think we should approach this game just as a huge opportunity. So, we really shouldn't have much pressure. We're playing at home, and if everyone's looking on the paper, there's not a whole lot picking us. And you know what? I think we should be comfortable with that. Let it all hang out tonight. Come out, play hard, really get after these girls. Make them make mistakes like we did there last year, and let's see where we go. I'm excited.
Going to tip is Cassidy Keltner and Hannah Sabatin.
And Cass gets the tip. And James kind of out in the perimeter, which is something she can do.
Yeah, she can
at
play the
6'3"
perimeter.
or so.
It's an interesting mix there. We see Cassidy on her now. That was on a switch. Nice job by Lexi Griffiths to get her hand on that ball and get the tie-up from the freshman tabling.
Yeah, she comes back looking just a little surprised, like, man. And that's, from my standpoint, that's the start we wanted.
Yeah.
See offensively what we can do. And, Trinity's in that man, and that's off them, so that should be ours. Stay there.
Nice job by Cassidy realizing, hey, I don't have to grab that one. Let that one go out. We'll set up our out-of-bounds set. Both Keltner standing right there. We're going to pick up a foul. Both Sabatin and Janes are there. We'll see who they give the foul to. It's going to be Hannah Sabatin. Going to get the first one. Like we said, that's the recipe for trouble when we get Sabatin out of the game.
Good shot there by Cass, just wasn't able to finish. Again, Ryan playing hard and not letting them get anything easy.
Nice job by Ryan reaching with the hand closest to the ball. They go into Janes in the post. Nice step back. Up and good for 2 by Janes.
Right there, that's a good play. Nice up and under, and another foul.
There's
Sabatin with her second.
It's going to be Sabatin 2. She's going to come out of the game.
And just a great move by Lizzie there.
Emma Shepman comes in. They don't lose much size when it goes to her. Lexi on a nice curl up. No good.
Great out of
Back
bounds
to
play
Lizzie.
there.
Lizzie no good.
We just got to finish. Now we got to stop ball before it gets too deep, because as we know, that freshman can score. And that's the elbow that she was looking for.
Yep, tabling misses a shot there. Jane's nice spin move, up and good for 2. Gives her 4.
Use the left hand there too. Just good move. Nothing wrong with that.
So Jane's going to go on Keltner now. Going to get a turnover on Keltner.
Yeah, I think just from West Washington's standpoint, just got to relax a little bit on offense, and we've already got off to a good start there with Sabatin on the bench, and Cassie made a good move, just hit her foot.
Going to be a foul on the floor.
Cass or Ryan here.
That's going to be.
And neither one.
Lexi.
We'll give it to Lexi.
Going to give it to
I'm
Lexi.
not sure she was within 10 foot of the play, but we'll call it good.
That's her first. Comes out to tabling at the top. Tabling for 3. Bang.
21, Bailey Tabling.
Like we said, as we came into this game, tabling can shoot it.
That's it.
Goes into Keltner. Keltner up. Spins. Good
play.
for 2.
Good move. Yeah, I think offensively we had that a couple times and got it to Cass and she finished. And James, I think she's probably going to be a little conservative, knowing her her counterpart is already in trouble.
Tabling for 3, no good. Lizzie Keltner comes out with that rebound. Lexi off and running.
I would like to see us push here because we can really get Sarah and Ryan in transition, some open 3-pointers.
Stice throws up that shot. No good. So
good D there by Cass.
Cass does a good job of giving ground there. Don't want to pick up a foul.
See if West Washington can execute now on offense. 7-2 start, not exactly what we wanted, but certainly not a bad start.
Going to be the second turnover for the Lady Senators. Lizzie Keltner doesn't dribble it before she starts moving, so.
Yeah, again, I do think, we know this is an opportunity to play a great team, and we're just a little jittery at this point.
Yeah, a little tight.
Yeah.
Janes for 3. No good.
Good
Russell
drive.
comes out with the rebound. To Lexi. Lexi, hesitation, Euro step, going to be blocked by Janes.
Good move there by Lexi. Just, it's hard to shoot over 6'3" girl. See, offensively, we can't get a good shot here.
Comes into Keltner. Keltner bounces it out to the top.
Halfway through the first, and we're really just, one possession away of, being within one possession. So we're a good start for West Washington.
That's an
an
interesting.
There was a lot of body, and it got Cass going out of bounds,
Yeah.
and she kind of just let it go, and they're letting him play a little bit. So the Cass has really just
Cass
got to
comes up with the steal. First turnover for the Lady Cougars.
just needs to match that physicality, and we'll be fine.
Russell drives
That's a
up.
good move, good strong move.
Shipman there to stop that, tabling off the other way. Nice move. Lexi does a good job of staying in front of her.
There's that left hand again.
Spins, no good.
Again, West Washington had a lot of opportunities here. Just need to put the ball in the basket now.
Deep 3 by Russell. Off the backboard, no good.
That's the official 30-footer right there. Yeah, but, she can make those shots.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is concerned about her shooting those.
Nope. Funny story, I saw her before the game. She was warming up on the W. I saw her hit 2 of 3.
Yeah.
And as she did, she looked up at me, and I said, go to the free throw line. Quick turnover for the Senators.
Yeah, I think, again, we're defensively, I think we're playing a really great game. Offensively, we're just a little jittery, trying to do too much individually right now.
Right, we're 5 minutes into the game and only 2 points up. That's one of those that, it's been a long time since the Senators have gone that amount of time and not put up more than just 2 points. You mentioned earlier there's basketball going on all over this building. The boys, 5th and 6th grade, are back in the back gym. The boys, 7th and 8th grade are up in the front gym. And then we've got the girls JV and varsity here in the on Ron Smith Court and Tower Gym. So lots of action going on here.
Yeah, and update from what I know, the 5th grade boys defeated Mitchell's 5th grade in a real close game. And then I do know that our 7th grade boys lost to Salem in that first game in the front gym. So now the 6th and 8th grade are up, and of course our JV was victorious tonight over Trinity Lutheran in a pretty close game. So it was a good win for our JV. So we'll see what our varsity can do here. Nice play, Ryan, again.
Nice job by Ryan to get a hand on that ball.
Lizzie doing well there, doing her job on Shipman. Great defense. That's exactly what you want. Again, defensively, coach has got us right where we need to be.
It's going to be a foul on Sarah Stice, I believe is who they gave that to. Second on the team, first on Sarah. Comes over the top, then back into the corner to Tabling. Tabling no good for that one. Ryan Russell comes out with the rebound.
Cass did a good job changing the shot, but not making contact.
Right.
And
Stice for three.
That's what we
Bang.
want. We just need a little transition.
That's where these Senators can be really dangerous. Getting out in transition, finding that three and letting it fly.
Yeah, and we didn't do a whole lot, anything special. We just pushed it with one pass.
Yep.
And you give Ryan or Sarah, a half second, and it's over.
And even Lexi. Lexi can fire them up too.
Yes.
So any of those guards, you give them any space at all, they're going to let it fly. Goker with the ball. It comes back out around the top to Cockerham.
And it does look like we're kind of face guarding the freshman there with Lexi, and so far it's done a good job on her.
Cass going to pick up her first. James is going to go to the line where she's a 69% free throw shooter on the year. Missed the first one. Second one, up and good.
Great shot there by Sarah. She just got to finish.
Trinity going to come back the other way.
She dribbled herself out of an angle just a little bit. West Washington kind of staying at. It's like a triangle and two is what we're playing.
Yeah.
And we got one on the back there, Shipman.
Shipman picks up her first.
Evens up the fouls. Minute 43, we're one possession here. We could tie it or just get within one. Either way, it's a good first quarter so far for the West Washington Lady Senators.
Russell drives baseline, going to get that one blocked.
Good play there by the freshman.
Nice hesitation there. Lexi does a great job of staying in front of her, then gets back cut.
Now push. This is an opportunity.
This is where Lizzie can really take over this game.
Now, I thought there was just a little contact there, but they didn't call it. And
we're going to
made up for it. 2 shots
made up
here.
for it there. So Cass is going to go to the line. That's going to be Emma Shipman's second.
So again, it's not the Janes girl, but the two of their bigs are in big trouble.
Yep.
So now it's much more even inside. I don't think they're going to have a hard time with our two bigs now.
Right, and that's the thing. With Cassidy picking up those 4 fouls on their 2 bigs, it makes all the difference in the world. We said coming in that Cass had to have a big game tonight, and so far she's doing just what we need. Second one up and good. Cassidy Keltner comes in as a 61% free throw shooter, so nice to see her knock down 2 in a row.
Yeah, West Washington, I think this unorthodox defense is just a little bit putting Trinity Lutheran in for a loop right now.
Yeah. James at the free throw line.
Here you go, Cass battle. Great job. That's all right.
Knocks it out.
It is hard to rebound out of that defense.
Feeds into Shipman. Shipman up and good for 2.
Yeah, we kind of fell asleep there a little bit.
Senators coming back the other way quickly.
We should go
10 seconds
in the first quarter down one possession. And we might be tied if we just give her a second. That's all she needed. Get in there.
Stice has room but is unable to get it off. Tabling grabs it, throws it. It's going to be no good. The Senators go into the second period of play down just 3. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from the IHSAA, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Indiana did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Back to live action here at T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium on the Ron Smith Court, where the Lady Senators are taking on the Lady Cougars. Number 2 in 1A. The Lady Senators do trail by 3 going into the second period of play here.
You know, West Washington come out in that triangle in 2. Really, the freshmen got on the board, but really didn't hurt us. And the Janes girl, I think we contained her. So
yeah.
Offensively, if we can just get something going, we're going to be ahead in this ball game. And just like right there, where we was able to double team the Janes girl, and that's what we needed, a turnover.
Janes picks up her first foul, so that's 5 total fouls, all of them on Lady Cougar bigs.
And it'd be hard not to give it to Cassidy and just see if you can make a foul there.
Cassidy or Lizzie.
That's right. That's it. Good shot. Oop. That's the second foul.
And one.
That's 2 on Janes. That's a great play by Keltner.
Great play by Keltner to pick up the foul.
That's good by number 10, Cassidy Keltner. She'll have 1 shot for foul.
1 shot here for Cassidy. Already hit 2 in a row. That one up and good.
We got to be pumped at this point.
This is a game that's all even. Nice move by Janes. Up, no good.
Good. That's 3 on Shipman.
That is 3 on Emma Shipman. Gonna be her third.
And West Washington finds themselves in the bonus.
So Ryan Russell gonna go to the line.
And
Sabatin checks back in with her 2.
Coach Lane's gonna have to play Sabatin with 2.
That one up, no good by Russell.
Yeah,
Russell going to pick up the
Ryan.
foul. Russell comes into the game only a 61% free throw shooter. Not very often do you see somebody who averages about 40% from the 3-point line and then a 60% free throw shooter.
Yeah, that's I think it's a lot of concentration. I don't even think Shaquille O'Neal has an excuse to shoot, very, very poorly at the free throw line. It's just a matter of, concentration. When you get up there, just go through a routine and all that. And, obviously Ryan's a lot better shooter than the 60% of the free throw line.
Russell able to rip that one away underneath. Going to be a foul on number 5, Emma Goker, her first.
All right, now Ryan just, again, needs to breathe, go through a routine, and knock this first one down. Because we potentially left 2 on the board there, points, that is. Come off her hand, really good.
That looked good by Russell, the release there. Second one, up and good also.
West Washington find himself up 2, 6:57 left here in this second quarter.
This is going to be a long second quarter with us already being in the bonus.
Yeah, and I think we got a great opportunity to do a lot of to pick up the pace because I think they're a block there by Lizzie. And
No shot on the floor.
Cass picks up her second. Not see what Coach does with Cass.
Sabaton up, no good.
Great D there.
Gets her own rebound out to James. Three-pointer, no good.
And that's us. Good.
Senator's going to get that one. It goes off of Sabaton's foot.
Again, defensively, West Washington is really causing some havoc for the Lady Cougars. And Lizzie with those 2 fouls on Sabaton, that's another foul. They didn't call it.
Goes over the top to Goker. Goker down 2.
Good, good.
Going to be a jump ball.
So we'll go over to the West Washington Senators. I don't know if it's getting through the headphones. There's some
sure
frustration coming.
Frustration coming from the
visitors.
from the Trinity Lutheran Cougar cheer section down there.
And that was good defense. That's good defense.
Yep. Hands up, doesn't
Lizzie
reach over.
Just needs to keep battling,
Sabaton comes down.
Yeah, and that's a tough one.
Lizzie just caught a little bit out of position, so that's going to be her first. Makes the fouls 6-8. Sabaton goes to the line. First one up and good. Sabaton, a 57% free throw shooter. Second one. No good. Going to go to the Senators.
Senators up 5:42. Like you said, this last minute and a half's taken 5 minutes, because and we're only 1 foul away from putting them in the bonus. So.
Yeah.
Getting home early for supper is not going to happen.
Especially since you were here for the early 5th grade game.
Yeah, but as you can tell, I don't go too many places without a meal, so I'm not hungry. Stice just with a great move into the middle of the lane and was able to finish. 5 of the night for Stice. And Lizzie's going to put up another one.
Lizzie with her second.
Yeah, Lizzie just needs to do a little more work as the ball's coming off the rim versus all the work after it comes off
hits.
The rim.
Yep.
And with her size and her athletic ability, if she can just focus on a little bit before the ball comes off the rim, she'll be a rebounding machine.
Yep. First one up and good for Sabaton. Gives her 2. Both coming from the free throw line. Second one up and good. That puts the Cougars to within 1. 14-13 here. 5 minutes to go in the second.
And I really think the matchup for the Senators is where we have the ball right now. See, that's another good shot. Yes.
Keltner
and that's either Sabaton or Lane. It's going to be 3 on one of them.
One of them. 15, that's Sabaton. She's going to pick up her third.
And that's Lizzie being aggressive.
Yep.
She's she had good defense played on her, the last possession. I thought she'd played equivalently good defense, but got a foul on her, but she's not let it affect her.
Keltner steps up to the line, knocks that one down. Not to jinx her, but she is only a 40% free throw shooter on the year. A little bit of Shaq syndrome there. In comes Caitlin Shepman, number 45, to replace Sabaton, who gets her third foul.
And I think that's another matchup that we can exploit, whoever she guards.
Right. The problem is we've got our one in the post who can really exploit sitting on the bench.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yep.
Cassidy checked out. Tabling up and good for 2.
A 5 on the night for tabling. And that was just a good offensive set. We just got to be ready. That's the matchup we want. That's it. Good.
Off of James. A little bit of remnants of her volleyball season this year. Russell for 3. That one no good.
Some battle underneath. That's what we need. Just continue to be aggressive.
Yep. Can't lose tabling. Goker up. No good.
And that's a shot we can live with. Again, defensively, we're playing a really good game.
Yeah. If Tabling and James aren't shooting it, we can live with that shot. Stice for 3.
That
good.
Was all but in. Both teams, I think, if they go a little bit faster, are going to do better on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Whoever goes slowest is going to allow that defense to set in. And
cutting from the weak side is Tabling. Lexi Griffiths picks up that foul.
And you can see one thing I've noticed with the freshman, she moves very well without the ball, and that just takes the basketball mind, saying, "Where's the open spot? I'm going to get there fast."
Tabling a 72% free throw shooter, but misses that one.
And obviously, she's played long enough already that the other teammates are looking for her.
Yeah. Cassidy Keltner comes in for Lizzie. Tabling second one up and good. Gives her 6 on the evening.
West Washington stays within 1. Good.
Keltner up and good for 2.
And I think we're going to be able to do that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because the best James is going to do is just get her hands up.
Yeah.
Good, perfect. That's good defense by the West Washington Senators.
We're going to see who they give it to. They give it to number 20, Mackenzie Brown, who I thought had the best position of any of the 3 Senators that were around.
Yep. Yeah, she had her squared up, and we walled up. That was good defense.
That one up and good for Tabling.
That Tabling listed at 5'9". I think it may be a little stretch. If she's 5'9", I'm 6'3". I haven't been 6'3" before. But she can shoot free throws, that's for sure.
Yep. Into Stice in the corner. This is not where you want to see Keltner with the ball. You don't want to see her with it at the 3-point line. You want to see her with it on the block.
West Washington just kind of great Cass.
Cass, no good.
It's okay.
Going to stay with the Senators off of James.
She's got to know there's not going to be contact with James right now.
Yeah.
See what the Senators come out of their tool bag with here. That's be a shot.
Down the lane. Nice hesitation there by Keltner.
And again, Stice is able to get by her man or woman every time. Defender, how about that?
There you go. Hard switching back and forth from boys sports to girls sports. And basketball to football, and throw some softball in there, and Tabling up and good. Nice back cut by her. Trinity Lutheran out ahead by 3, 20-17, 2 minutes to go here in the second.
Yeah, Tabling's movement has just really been the only difference. That overall we're doing.
Stice for 3.
Save that.
Nice save, but
the only thing is that's a travel. Good.
Yep.
That's a great call. Great defense by Sarah Stice.
Going to be the second turnover of the quarter for the Lady Cougars. Their 4th of the game.
Yeah, I think this is the lineup that we can really exploit.
Yeah.
So I think, well, really at this point, Cassie or Lizzie, either one that gets it in the post is going to have an advantage. That's a double dribble. You know that, Cass.
It's the 4th turnover of the period, 7 total for the Lady Senators. That happened because of the entry pass that was a bounce pass to her, and then she had to dribble it to be able to catch it. So Janes for 2, no good. Lexi Griffiths with the rebound heading the other way.
The defensive effort that we're putting on Janes right now is great.
Lexi for 3, no good. Janes gets the rebound and clears out.
We might be just getting a little tired.
Going to stay with the Lady Cougars.
We just need to focus on this last minute 4 and make sure we finish the half. Don't give it anything easy right here.
Yep.
And it's, good defense. Good.
Going to be
job.
A travel turnover for the Lady Cougars.
So Coach got a couple things he can do. He can probably get 3 possessions if he wants to go fast, or he can just go with 1 possession and take the last shot. We'll see what he goes with.
Knowing the way these Lady Senators play, this will not be the last shot of the half.
Yeah.
They like to speed it up and let them fly. That'll do. That'll do. Sarah Stice with 3, 5 in the quarter.
I'll tell you, that ties it at 20, and now we're 1 defensive stand away of having the opportunity of taking this thing in halftime with the lead.
This is really important for Ryan not to pick up a second foul here. She draws the duty of guarding Janes. Tabling at the free throw line, good for another 2. Gives her 9 in the quarter.
Janes really cleared, she reversed out of that pick and roll and really cleared a spot for tabling. Yeah, that's don't foul and miss that shot. There we go. Good.
Doesn't get that one off. So we're going to go into the half with the score 20-22. Lady Cougars ahead of the Lady Senators. We're going to step aside, give us a chance to collect our thoughts a little bit, have a few commercial breaks from the Washington County Community Foundation along with the IHSAA. We'll be back in just a moment.
In 2012, the Washington County Community Foundation began working on its next big initiative, Education Matters. The goal of Education Matters is to increase the educational attainment of adults residing in our county. The initial focus has centered on adults with some college and no degree. With the assistance of scholarships and a peer mentoring program, the foundation began helping adults return to college to complete their degree or obtain a certification in 2013. Realizing that strength lies in numbers, Washington County partnered with Clark, Floyd, Harrison, and Scott counties to create Education Matters Southern Indiana. This initiative continues to build.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. They're so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In 2015, we launched the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. This is phase 2 of the Happily Ever After project. With the assistance of several local donors and sponsors, along with 5 years of fundraising by the Washington County Youth Foundation, we finally had enough resources to launch the service. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library is a free service that mails age-appropriate books to all required Washington County children under the age of 5. Although the faces of the leadership of the Washington County Community Foundation have changed over time, as is always the case with any healthy, thriving organization, the core values and mission remain the same. We continue to work diligently to assist our donors in creating a legacy that is meaningful to them. All of our success is directly related to the generosity of the sons and daughters of Washington County. We will continue to help our donors give back to our community through our foundation and improve the quality of life in our county.
Back here to live action at T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium on the Ron Smith Court, where the Lady Senators are in a battle tonight with number 2 at 1A, the Trinity Lutheran Cougars. Score after the first half of play, Trinity Lutheran 22, Lady Senators 20. The Lady Senators are led in the first half of scoring by Cassidy Keltner with 9, followed closely by Sarah Stice with 8. Ryan Russell has 2, and Lizzie Keltner has 1. So only 4 Senators able to get into the scoring column, but the Lady Senators do only play 6 in the first half. So 4 of the 6 do end up scoring. They did have 7 turnovers in the first half. Lady Cougars, same thing for them. They only have 4 that get into the scoring column. Bailey Tabling has 12. Sydney Janes with 5. Hannah Sabatin 3. And Emma Shepman with 2. They play 7 in the first half, and only 4 are able to get into the scoring column. Big thing happening in the first half is the foul issue. Hannah Sabatin with 3, Emma Shepman with 3, Sydney Janes with 2. So that's all 3 of Trinity Lutheran's starting bigs in foul trouble, either with 3 or 2. Along the same lines, the Lady Senators, both of their starting bigs, Cassidy Keltner and Lizzie Keltner, both have 2. Lexi Griffiths also has 2 fouls. So overall, first half of play, fairly clean game so far. The Lady Senators had 7 turnovers to the Lady Cougars only having 5. And it's a tight game because of that. No extra possessions for either the Lady Cougars or the Lady Senators. Both of these teams average in the mid to upper 60s, and tonight we're at 20 in the first half.
Yeah, I think with the exception of the first 4 minutes of the game where I felt like we were just a little tight, like you said, offensively we wasn't executing, and we got down 7-2. So it's a 5-point differential. We finished the first quarter down 3, and then we finished the second quarter down 2 here. So we've truly outplayed this team for 12 of the 16 minutes. And I think if we can exploit the foul trouble early again and take advantage of Cass in the middle, create some open shots on the outside, I'm looking for us to be close in the fourth and see what happens.
Breakdown of quarter scoring. In the first, the Lady Senators have 7, where the Lady Cougars have 10. So Lady Cougars win that first quarter of play, but then the Lady Senators come back and score 13 in the second, where the Lady Cougars only have 12. So that's a win for the Lady Senators if you're counting quarters, which brings us to the score of 22-20 in favor of the Lady Cougars. So Lady Senators need to win another quarter or 2 here, and it's going to be a tight game down to the end.
Yeah, I think defensively, I'm not sure that we could have executed much better. We knew who they was going to go to, and they went to them, and that's who we've been boxing or triangling and twoing. And anytime James got the ball, tried to post in the post, we had a double team there with the triangle. She's getting the ball out top a lot and creating off the dribble, but she's not quite as effective, I don't think. It's not that she's not a very good player off the dribble, just not as effective as if she catches it on that big red block, it's over with
right.
From what I've seen, and we've taken that part of her game out.
I think that's the same mentality that the Lady Senators had last year at sectional when they were able to beat this Trinity Lutheran team. You've got to get them into the post, and you've got to get foul trouble on them early. Last year, we were able to do it with Sabatin and Janes. again this year we do it with Sabatin and James and even Shipman, who came in, getting fouls on her. So it's a matter of doing what Coach Russell asked you to do, in the game plan and executing it. And the Lady Senators have done that so far.
Yeah, I think defensively, when you play that triangle and two, you're kind of face guard. Those two Lady Senators are face guarding all the time. We'll see what that does from an endurance standpoint.
Yeah.
The word I was trying to get out. So later in the second quarter, I did see Ryan on
James,
and is giving Cass a little bit of a break on defense. We'll see if Lexi can continue to face guard the freshman. She showed us that she can move well without the ball.
Yep.
Those back cuts are fast, and her teammates are looking for her.
Yep.
Again, I think that's going to be another aspect of the game that we'll have to monitor pretty close, is to see if we can make sure keep our feet fresh and keep those girls in front of us.
That's one thing that, Lexi was not able to get into the scoring column, but she played excellent defense on Bailey Tabling. Through that first half of play, Bailey was able to come out and get 9 in the second quarter, but was only held to 3 in the first. So if we can continue that through 2 quarters, only allowing her 3 a quarter, that's a win for the Senators.
Yeah. I don't know the message at halftime. We wasn't in there, obviously, but I think it was a fairly positive message, or I would have thought it would have been. But then also, hopefully there was a challenge at the end, especially for those 2 girls that are face guarding their stars, is that we got to do it for 16 more minutes, and we might pull out a win here.
We're going to step aside, have a commercial break. We'll be back for the start of the second half of play in just a moment.
In 2015, we launched the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. This is phase 2 of the Happily Ever After project. With the assistance of several local donors and sponsors, along with 5 years of fundraising by the Washington County Youth Foundation, we finally had enough resources to launch the service. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library is a free service that mails age-appropriate books to all required Washington County children under the age of 5. Although the faces of the leadership of the Washington County Community Foundation have changed over time, as is always the case with any healthy, thriving organization, the core values and mission remain the same. We continue to work diligently to assist our donors in creating a legacy that is meaningful to them. All of our success is directly related to the generosity of the sons and daughters of Washington County. We will continue to help our donors give back to our community through our foundation and improve the quality of life in our county.
Back to live action here at T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium on Ron Smith Court. We're ready for the second half of play to start. We get everybody the same back in other than Hannah Sabatin. She is still on the bench with her 3 fouls. They're going to go with Shipman. Tabling for 3, no good. That one tipped around. Keltner comes out with the rebound.
Yeah, I think they went right to tabling. I was wondering, Mr. Lang doesn't have that many wins because he's a sorry coach. I was wondering what he was going to try to do to get his offense kick-started, and I think they're going to emphasize the freshman off the bat.
Number 5,
Emma Gerker, going to be her second, team's first of the half. So Stice steps to the line where she's a 61% free throw shooter. That one no good.
Her first one of the night. Maybe she just needed to get the cobwebs shaken out.
I was joking with her before the game and told her that maybe she should scoot back and start shooting free throws from the three-point line.
Again, a take from the freshman is going to be a foul on Cass, I think.
No, going to give it to Lexi.
I think they bang knees. She's hurting over there.
I don't know that they bang knees or if Lexi got a knee to the gut.
Okay, yeah, I thought she was kind of rubbing her knee, but you're right. I think it might have just got her.
I think knocked the wind out of her. She's trying to catch her breath, but she doesn't have a whole lot of time because she's going to end up chasing tabling around. That one up and good for her. We got her for 4 free throw makes already. That one up and good.
And so, unfortunately, in those two possessions, a kind of a 4-point swing where we missed 2 free throws and they hit 2 free throws. But West Washington within 4, so certainly not. Going
to be a 5-second count on Lexi. Going to be the first turnover of the half for the Lady Senators.
Yeah, I think just to be aware and kick that ball out, get it right back, and start again.
So, Lady Cougars take over here on the offensive end. Lexi back on tabling. Just going to chase.
And did a real good job there.
Yeah.
And Ryan stays on
James and is going to get all the help she needs once the ball goes to James. Cassidy and Lizzie are both coming to help as soon as that ball goes into her. Both of these coaches are very familiar with each other. Their sons actually play AAU ball together on a team that is coached by both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little tidbit I didn't know.
Also, I believe they were college roommates.
Oh, okay. So great move by Cass.
Cass goes in, unable to knock that one down. So, yeah, these two guys know each other. Tabling up and good with the reverse. Coach Russell doesn't like the start of the second half, so he's going to take a timeout.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout. So we'll stick with you here. Lady Senators do trail by 6. Still early in the second half here.
Yeah, I think we've had an opportunity to put some points on the board and didn't take advantage of that, and they got they got a good move to the basket, created a foul, hit their free throws, and then just got an easy basket there. So nothing to be too worried about. But I do agree with coach's thought on just calming everyone down.
Stop this one.
Reset the whole thing, and go back to doing what we was doing in the first half.
Going to be Lady Senator ball underneath the bucket. I see people filing in from the front gym. I think it's halftime out in the front.
Halftime or it's over or won.
That one up and good by Cass.
Good offensive set there by the Lady Senators. And again, they're going to that freshman.
Yep, tabling for 3. Gives her 7. Stice thinks about it, drives, up, runner no good. James comes out with the rebound.
That went in, it just didn't go in.
Yeah, so went in, just didn't fall through the net.
Just not a bad set.
First time we've called that name tonight. That is Kaylee Cockerham.
Yeah, and give Trinity some credit. They got us out moving a little bit and was able to knock down some shots.
Going to be a full timeout. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Indiana did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Back to live action here. Not the start of the second half that the Lady Senators wanted. They went in just trailing by 2, but it's been a 7-0 run for the Lady Cougars in the second half so far.
Yeah, Coach working on, calming everyone down. And, again, we've continued to put we keep putting the ball in the basket, we'll be just fine. Our defense is going to, we're going to adjust to some of the things they're doing.
Going to be a turnover by the Lady Senators again. Going to get a travel there, so we're going to come out in looks like a 1-2-1-1 full court press here.
It's great job. Now we just got to get back.
Crosses the court over to James.
The only thing about the press is sometimes it's hard to find folks, but we dropped back and did a good job finding them. Freshman in the middle took a little bump there. Wasn't able to withstand that. And that's probably a little too much to go over Ryan on the floor, but no call here.
And not get anything called. It's got to be. Lady Senators just look a little bit out of sorts here. Once again, Cassidy handling the ball out top. Not quite sure that's the offense that Coach Russell wants run. Reverse dribble there by Lexi Griffiths.
Now Cass needs to go hard.
Cass does a nice job of collecting that ball and then coming back out and resetting the offense. Oh, turnover by the Lady Senators.
That's a travel. That's be a turnover there back to the Senators. So yeah, offensively, we just got a little, little out of sequence. I'm not sure how to describe it, but
we had people who are usually not in positions on that time down the floor, and it looked out of sync, looked out of whack. It just wasn't what you wanted.
And that's what we want right there. And just know that she's got two, and she's got a foul. They didn't call anything there. She walled up pretty good, but I thought she came down with her hand on Cassidy. Senators stay in that triangle in two, and James gets it down low, and she was able to go away from that double team.
Stice for three. That one no good. Keltner pulls that one down. No foul there. Back to James coming the other way.
Shipman there with 2 or 3 fouls.
Tabling, testing some range there, letting that three-pointer fly before before her offense gets underneath the bucket.
Yeah, offensively, I think we got to push it when we can, and I think Trinity's picked up their defensive pressure a little bit too. We're not able to really see over some of their defense, and it's causing us to start our offense really deep in the half court.
Keltner unable to knock that one down. Russell going to pick up a foul. Going to be her second of the night.
That was on 3, Ryan Russell. That's her second.
In comes number 20, Mackenzie Brown, who did play in the first half but didn't score, so.
West Washington kind of that 2-3. We can't lose a freshman.
Yeah.
Good block by Cassidy. I would take it right at her.
Yep.
Good job. That's a foul. Man.
One-handed up. Sarah Stice, no good.
Now West Washington's got to get back. Stop ball. Don't let her get too deep. That's too deep. And they've just swallowed it. They've just swallowed the whistle. And this is going to get both teams are really competitive. It could get a little bit rough.
Yeah. Coach Lang asking for his crew to run the offense. Tabling, nice cut there.
I think it is a little bit of fatigue that may be setting in just to touch for us on defense.
Yeah.
Again, if you're gonna face guard for 24 minutes, it's rough.
Stice for 3. That one no good. Shipman with the nice rebound.
Good defense there by the Senators.
Lady Cougars swing the ball around James for a deep 2. That one hits every bit of the rim and then falls through.
For fourth point of the quarter. That puts them up 15, and West Washington's going to have to talk it over, see what we can't get going on offense.
We're going to step aside, have a commercial break. We'll be back with more action in just a moment.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face, yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Lady Senators do trail the Lady Cougars 37-22. Definitely been a tale of quarters. The Lady Senators were able to draw back close after the second quarter of play to finish the first half only down 2, but then the third quarter so far, the Lady Senators have only scored 2 points, where the Lady Cougars have stretched out their lead quite a bit to up to 15.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think offensively someone needs to step up and get hot. We know we have that in us, so we'll see who steps up here.
They're going to turn and do the exact same thing. They're going to face guard Ryan Russell.
Yeah, and their coach is yelling for tightness, and they're doing it, no doubt. We just got to be comfortable with the pressure. Good move. That's what we need to do right there. Good job. And if that's Shipman, that's her fourth. We'll see who goes on.
I believe that's who they're going to get. Yep. Emma Shipman with her fourth. So she's going to come out. We're going to see number 40 check into the game.
Sabatin come to the bench, and Coach Lang put her back. I think he's really trying to save her for the fourth.
Ron Russell hits that one.
It's the first point of the second half for the Senators.
Genesis Munoz is number 40, who comes into the game.
And that's a lie. Cassidy hit a shot earlier. Third point of the quarter.
Little wardrobe malfunction there. Got to get a hair tie in the hair, and then steps up. Ryan Russell knocks that one down.
4 for 5 tonight for her from the lines, what I got. That's good to see.
That's good to see, considering she came in and was a 61% free throw shooter. So
5 seconds here, and a good pressure. Got to know that,
with
Ryan.
Step back
and
three.
That's good.
That one
good.
No good. So Lady Senators are going to go into the fourth, down 24-37. We're going to step aside, have a short commercial break from the IHSA. We'll be back in just a moment.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Indiana's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back to action here at West Washington. You can always find a good laugh here, Matthew. Everywhere,
right.
everywhere you look, if you listen hard enough, you can get a laugh just about anywhere. There was someone in the building who said that Trinity was up 14. The math mind that you have was able to pick that up right off the bat and say,
I'm a math magician. And
only
that's
up 13.
Only 13 where I come from. Hopefully that 1 point comes into play here later on.
Yeah. You come from a great place right here, West Washington.
That's right. I was coached by the best.
There it is.
And that's a great way to start the quarter.
That's the way to start it by Cassidy Keltner with 2 and picking up the 3rd foul on James.
I was taught by the best in math, Mr. Rosenbaum.
Who is across the way. Still haven't heard how his game went.
Unofficially from Brooks Deaton, first-hand response was the 8th grade pulled it out and we beat Salem.
Well, that's good. That's good. I know he was a little concerned about that game and how that was going to work out for that 8th grade group, which is full of talent and just a great team altogether. I know they've struggled with the Orleans Bulldogs. That 8th grade team that they have over there is just outstanding.
Yeah, that's true. And another thing that Brooks said about the game was it was crazy.
Well,
so I know it was close, and I know there was a lot of yelling and screaming, but he said we pulled it out. So
there weren't any Deatons over there yelling and screaming, were there?
Thank goodness, probably there wasn't. Misty's there, but says she's only half, so she don't yell like the real blood does.
But the boys were over there, right? So they may have been yelling and screaming.
That's true. I can't speak for them.
And I'm sure Meredith was over there. Or is she in here somewhere?
Yeah, she was over there. I seen her cheering her cousin on. A little bit of a hook, and he said she's going out of bounds.
Going to step on the line. Going to be the first turnover for the Lady Senators of the 4th quarter here.
I liked how Lizzie was going to taking it right to Sabatin.
Yep.
She was taking it right to her. Good D by Ryan, just got to recover because any little bit.
Nice job by Stice to go up and get a rebound there.
You know, listen, down 10 with 6:38, we are okay. We just got to continue to run our offense. Get good shots in the middle. There's Lizzie right there. Go ahead and put it in there. Good job. Sabatin with 3. It's a good shot, and
Lexi up and good for 2.
And that's what we need, someone to step up. Lexi Griffiths.
Her first bucket of the night.
West Washington gets it to 8, and we just need to get 1 or 2 stops here. 1 or 2 stops.
That you can't let happen. You can't let her catch it at the 3-point line and take 3 dribbles and get in the paint.
That's right.
There's just not enough help down there. Cassidy picks up her 3rd. If that's gonna happen, Lizzie has to step in and be set up to take a charge. It can't be step in and then jump.
That's right.
James knocks down the first one.
And
gives her 10 on the night.
Trinity really shooting well from the free throw line, but we got a miss there.
That's the old broadcaster's jinx.
That's right. Sarah kind of picked up her dribble. I don't know if the coach would have got too upset if she would have just let that one go.
Yeah.
But now we can have a chance to run our offense.
Lizzie with a nice move.
And she got a little separation. And that's a tough matchup. You know, Lizzie coming in, we're talking about great freshman play. She's a great freshman.
Yeah.
And but it's not Sabatin's first rodeo.
No,
she played good D there.
She's a senior. She's been here before. She was the primary one guarding Cassidy last year. So she's used to that post play. I believe she drew Cora Miller the year before, so she's used to being in the post against these Lady Senators.
Yeah, and it does look like we've went to a face guard on 3 positions now, and the bottom 2 they're just kind of playing zone on it'd be Sabatin and number 5 Goker.
Goker, yeah.
So and it's working. We've adjusted, and their offense has not adjusted here in this 4th quarter.
Same way with the Lady Cougars. Goker is just face guarding Sarah Stice. Anywhere she goes, she's just going to follow.
Good pass. Now take it right to her. Gas. Perfect play. There we go. We got her on the second one. That's 4 on James. And Cassie's really played a great game tonight.
Yep. That's 4 on James and 4 on Shepman. So going to be a timeout by Coach Lang. He's going to call one and talk to his coaching staff and get it figured out what he wants to do next. We're going to step aside since it is a full timeout, have a word from the IHSAA, and be back in just a moment.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back to live action here at West Washington. There is quite a crowd here for the Lady Senators. Definitely know the implications of this game.
You know, I think West Washington, the Lady Senators is here to need to finish this game out. Continue to do what we're doing. We've got the momentum here in the fourth quarter, only down 9, and now 8. And again, if we continue to confuse them on the defensive side of the ball, Cassidy, I think she's ready. We need to get her the ball and see what she can do offensively.
That one up and good also by Keltner.
I will not mention how she's doing from the line tonight, but it is good.
It's good. You keep giving the stats for the Cougars when they're shooting free throws.
That's right. Ryan now face guarding the freshman. And they're going to go to Sabatin down low, and she's able to get the shot up, but does go in. Shipman with 4, and she does get an offensive rebound.
Keltner going to pick up one there, going to be her 4th. Cassidy Keltner. Kind of an interesting makeup. There are, I can count, there are 5 different schools represented here tonight. So not only is it West Washington and Trinity Lutheran, but there's Salem in the crowd. There's an Orleans person in the crowd that I know of.
And that's good. These girls, both teams, just it's good to have people come out and support them.
Yeah. And a Paoli person. So 5 schools here. She's been able to make one of those.
She gets on the board here in this second half. Again, 8-point lead. West Washington, again, we're just that's a great move. And Cass is doing a great
and good
job.
For 2.
I tell you what, I think Coach said, I need an animal, and she said, I'm it.
Yep. Senior says, jump on my back, I'll lead the way.
Doing a great job, and now if we get a 3 or 2 from Ryan and Sarah and Lexi, we're in this ball game. Oh, that's great. Is that not Lexi, or not Cass, right?
Nope, going to be Ryan.
Number 3, Ryan.
Her 3rd.
I didn't think it should be Cassidy, but
no, Cass did a nice job and just reach in and pull that one away.
Fouls aren't a big issue yet, but they could be as far as team fouls go. Yeah.
Tabling in the corner.
That's what they wanted, but the freshman unable to. No. I think that was just a battle.
Ryan
they're
Russell
going to call on Ryan, but I think that was just a battle for the ball.
Yep. Russell picks up her 4th.
Now 3, Ryan Russell, her 4th, the team 6th.
From West Washington's standpoint, it's good to see that freshman throw an air ball or 2 up.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of that confidence will be. There's another one on the way. And
that one good.
That's again the broadcaster just needs to be quiet. She's certainly proved that she's a good player.
Stice puts one up.
Lexi tracks it down, doing some of the dirty work.
That one deflected, so Keltner tracks it down in the backcourt. Ryan brings it up, goes off to Lexi. Cougars come out in a little 3-2
now
zone.
Down, good. That's what we want, and that's a foul on Sabatin.
Sabatin going to be her 4th. So all the bigs in foul trouble tonight.
And I tell you, it's going to be a big advantage for whatever team is able to
Get
not put one of their stars on the bench.
Yep. As he bends the knees, not able to knock that one down. Good news is she can help her season average if she hits this one. That one good.
She does.
Brings her to 50% on the night.
All right, big defensive stop here for the Senators. 3:04 left, and Trinity's wanting to slow it down. Like you said, I think he was listening to their huddle at the end at that timeout in the 4th quarter, and their coach doesn't want us to. He don't want to push it with us.
Yeah. He learned that last year. He tried to push in the 1st quarter, and we ended up being up by, I think it was 14 after 1 quarter. Going to be a turnover for the Lady Cougars.
And the Lady Senators get a big turnover right there. We're down 8 with the ball, and we just need to get the score. And there's Cass in the middle. Got it. Now down, sis.
Nice bucket by Cass.
And we continue to go. And I tell you, those bigs with 4 fouls, they just cannot stop Cassidy Keltner. Another ask of the defense. Got to have one more ask of the defense.
Those of you at home, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I had the camera on the wrong end of the floor there. That was Cassidy Keltner, who made a nice move and able to score that 2-point bucket. Tabling down the middle, up and good.
Yeah, and that's her moving without the ball again. She does such a good job. As soon as you turn your head, she is gone.
Gone.
Now down. In the middle, right there. Good. Perfect. That's what we need. And Lizzie needs to look for a shot. That was She could have done a reverse there.
Well,
or
she needs to look at the same thing that her sister did. Was once it gets to her, she needs to then pass down to the other post because somebody's coming up to help. So that gives some room. Lizzie Keltner.
She has 4. Maybe.
3rd.
3 or 4.
3rd.
Good. I'm wrong. That's a good thing. And that's correct because I got 17 fouls, and we put them in the bonus at this point.
Sabatin is one that you can live with at the line, 57% on the year. That one up and good.
And, she's 4 for 5 for tonight, so need to be 4 for 6. Minute 28, not over, but if she makes this, it's 10. So we're going to have some work to do.
That one up and good. It's going to be a full timeout by Coach Lang. We're going to stick with you through this timeout here. Lady Senators, not that this game is over by any means, but they're down 6 with 1:28 to go. They worked through some things in the first half and had it figured out, what they needed to do, and then the Lady Cougars came out with a run in the second.
Yeah, the first 4 minutes of the game, it took us a while to figure it out, and then it was most of the 3rd quarter. We just was unable to. In my opinion, they stepped up the pressure on the defense, and we didn't adjust well. Now they came out with some of that same pressure in the 4th, and we handled it well. It was just us taking a little while, or maybe a little too long to adjust. Yeah,
and we saw the Lady Cougars come out in a 3-2 zone here in the 4th, which is something that, if you follow them very much, you see them play a 3-2 and a 2-3 a lot. I know I talked about it in the pregame that we were probably going to see that, and we hadn't until here in the 4th.
Yeah, and so what that means, I think. Well, I've seen 3 or 4 different defenses kind of on each side of the ball. These are both 2 well-coached teams that are able to mix it up and figure out what is going to work. And again, with the exception of that big 3rd quarter, we've played the number 2A or number 2 in 1A very well tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anyone should be happy if we lose this ball game. I'm just saying that we've played pretty good.
Keltner, nice job trying to get around. Does, up and good for 2.
And Cass is just really, as good as these bigs are, she's showing her class right now. She is.
Yeah.
She's really taking it to them.
Yeah, she's really come on here in the fourth quarter. She's got 11 in the fourth alone. She's got over 20 tonight, along with probably double-digit rebounds. So a double-double for her tonight. And just really doing everything that Coach Russell asked. The problem is there hasn't really been anybody else go with her.
Yeah, and I think if we play these guys again, when it gets close, we'll need 1 or 2 girls to step up. And not taken away. Not to say they haven't played well. It just we'll need more than 1 going at a time.
Yeah.
Because this team is that good. They've got that many weapons.
Yep.
Destiny Nafis comes in the ball game. Going to play a little defense for the Senators. And West Washington's going to try a little pressure. And Lexi's going to foul Janes.
Just kind of an out of position. Janes went up. Lexi had her arm up, and Janes came down with her arm inside of hers. And there's nothing she could do. She didn't move, didn't push. Just.
Janes 2 for 4 tonight, unofficially from the line.
So Senators go a little offense for defense there. Jane steps up, misses the first one.
It. That's what we needed.
Lexi out running. Goes down the lane.
Made it.
Up and good for 2 from Lexi.
Coach calls another timeout, and he's going to do it again. Down to 6, minute left.
Both Browns come in along with Destiny Nefis. So Coach Russell going to draw up something for the Lady Senators. Like you said, down 6. They're neither of these teams are great free throw shooting teams, and it may come down to seeing if Trinity can knock down some free throws.
Yeah, we've got another foul before we go on the double bonus. The only thing that's not working well for us right now, they've only got 5 team fouls. So if it does get real close, they're going to have a couple kind of free shots at us just to kind of stop the flow of the game, and but certainly nothing that we can't overcome.
When you look down free throw percentages coming into the game, Janes is a 69% free throw shooter. You could live with her shooting some free throws. Hannah Sabatin is a 57% free throw shooter. Kaylee Cochran is a 35% free throw shooter. Emma Shepman is a 54% free throw shooter, and Emma Goker is a 50% free throw shooter. So nobody there really lighting it on fire. The only one that you really don't want to foul is Bailey Tablin. Don't foul her. She's a 72 on the year. She's going to knock them down for you. But the others, you can feel confident that you may be able to get out of there with them maybe knocking down 1, maybe none, being able to get out, on a free possession there.
Yeah, just like Jane, she missed the front end of that one-on-one there earlier. So I look for a quick foul from the Senator defense after if they'll try to probably trap right at the beginning, and then if not, now I would say they're going to foul. And coach, well coached, they put it in the freshman's hands, just like you said. You don't want to foul.
Yeah,
her.
that's
so
the
we're
one you
trying
don't
to
want to foul.
Pass it. Now it's a foul. Now it's a foul. Now it's a foul. Destiny puts it on her, and I think well executed. There's 14 seconds run off, so kind of average on that side of it. But overall, we got the person with the ball we wanted.
Shepman steps to the line, 54% on the year.
And I know Sarah Stice, she has ice water in her veins. If you let her with a shot, she's going to make it. And that's what we need for a little help.
Shipman steps up, knocks down the first one. So now the Lady Cougars are up 7, 46.3 to go.
That was a big shot. There was 3 possessions.
Second one,
and that's
no good.
That's the miss. And that's a good. Sabatin should be out of the game.
That's going to be 5.
5th. And I think he did, from Coach Lang's standpoint, it doesn't hurt them too much to go really aggressive there. If she would have got the rebound, it would have been great for them.
Yeah.
And the foul don't really hurt them, although now they've only got 1 more to mess with.
Probably the one on the floor that you wanted to foul, too. Lizzie Keltner comes in and is only a 40% free throw shooter.
Yeah, we had the referees faked out that we should shoot free throws, and but Coach Lang he called them out and said, "Hey, that's only 6." Coach is having a discussion with the guys in stripes, so I'm not sure what
exactly what the question is.
Yeah, I mean the foul was on the rebound. It wasn't a play, and it was on Sabatin. They called it. She fouled out. Right, she's off the floor, and because it was not the 7th foul, it should be our ball out of bounds. So I think, at least in my mind, it's the guys in stripes got it right eventually.
Yeah.
But they was going to let us shoot free throws.
We would have been okay with that.
I think
So the ball comes into Lexi.
Oh, man. It's the shot we wanted, and it just goes out of bounds after that. And really, the shot we wanted, it just rolled off the rim. Can't fault the Cass for that one.
So all 3 players who come in on the defensive side come in.
Yeah, and almost needed to face guard that from the out of bounds, and that's the foul. There we go. And
Stice with the foul.
I've only got 2 for Stice, but that is our 10th. So no matter what, they're going to be shooting 2 after this. The advantage of the bonus is no longer. So we're really going to have them fail from the free throw line.
That one up and good.
Cindy James, only a junior.
Yeah.
You get to seeing these players and you think, man, they've got to be seniors, and then when you realize they're not, it's amazing.
Yeah, 1,000-point scorer as a junior.
Good entry, and that's fouled out. There will be
Emma Shipman going to be her 5th. She's going to be done for the night.
And now we are going to shoot free throws. Coach Lang going to the bench, looking around. And going to bring in her sister, looks like.
Yep.
I don't know them personally. They just look identical, so I just assume they're sisters.
I'm pretty sure they're sisters. Not 100% sure, but pretty sure.
So we certainly have to make our free throws. I'm going to have to get a quick foul and continue, trying to chip away at this lead. 9 points now, so at some point in time, we're going to have to put some 3s on the board.
Keltner comes in.
Rattles in and out. Man, that might be it. We'll see if Coach is still going to foul, but at 9 with 15 seconds. Coach is calling no foul. It looks like Trinity's going to get away with the win here.
It's going to be a 49-40 win for the Lady Cougars. Lady Senators do close it up a little closer there as the 4th quarter goes, but it was really a matter of the 3rd quarter. They just didn't do enough there. We're going to step aside, take a couple commercial breaks, let us get some stats figured out, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face, yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Lady Senators do fall to the number 2 in 1A Lady Cougars of Trinity Lutheran, 49-40. Scoring breakdown by quarter goes 7 in the first for the Lady Senators to 10 in the first for the Lady Cougars. Then it is 13 for the Senators and 12 for the Cougars to bring you to the halftime score of 22-20 in favor of the Lady Cougars. Tail of the game is the third quarter, where the Lady Senators are only able to score 4, where the Lady Cougars come out and chip in 15. And then in the fourth, the Lady Senators get 16, but the Lady Cougars score 11 to bring you to your 49-40 total. Scoring breakdown by individual player. Bailey Tabling, the freshman who came in averaging 23, got that average of 23 plus 3, so she had 26 on the night. Sydney Janes had 12. Hannah Sabatin had 5. Kaylee Cockerham had 2. And Emma Shepman had 4 to bring their total to 49. Lady Senators, Ryan Russell had 4, a little off of her season total. Sarah Stice had 8, which is 9 less than her season average, but the big player tonight is Cassidy Keltner, who chips in 22 when she comes in only averaging 10. So big night for Cassidy Keltner, the senior. Lizzie Keltner chips in 2, and Lexi Griffiths has 4 to get the total of 40 for the Lady Senators. Turnovers by half. Lady Senators have 7 in the first half, 6 in the second for a total of 13, but the Lady Cougars only have 9 total. So we're joined by Coach Russell. Matthew, I'm going to let you have him.
All right. Hey, Coach, there's no such thing as moral victories, but, overall I thought your defensive game plan, I thought worked really well. And you took them out of their game, especially in the first half. The third quarter got a little bit away from us, but other than that, I thought our Lady Senators played really well tonight.
Yeah, we did, and that's what we talked about in there. Could not be prouder of our effort. Third quarter, I don't think we played with that same intensity we played with the first 2 quarters and then the fourth quarter. And that's what we said, you understand that you play these top teams, you got to play 4 quarters. I mean, and that's what I told them, you look at, Trinity's number 2, we're right there with them. Lanesville, number 4 in the state, we had them beat without Cassidy. And, there's some other teams that are pretty doggone good that we've had beat or did beat. And, but it's playing that 32 minutes and getting them to understand. And, I'm disappointed in the loss, but I'm not disappointed in our effort and for the execution for the most part outside of the third quarter. Trinity's a heck of a team. I mean, you got Sydney Janes, Loyola of Chicago was here tonight, sitting over there watching.
Wow.
Butler was at their last game. She's going to a big-time D1 school. Tabling, the freshman guard, is already she's been offered by Marquette. So,
my goodness.
So they got some talent.
Yeah.
And I thought our kids really competed, and The thing we got to understand is shots that normally we can get inside the lane, it's hard to get when you're going up against a 6'3" girl or, five. I think they list her at 5'10". She's probably closer to 5'11", and she's a D1 volleyball player. She's going. I forget where he said that she's going to play volleyball, but they've got some athletes on that team, and as one of our players said, because I made the comment, I said, we'll see them again. We'll see them again come tournament. And this player said, yeah, and said every year it's been the same. Whoever wins the regular season, the other one wins the sectional.
Right.
And I would much rather have sectional than this game tonight.
Well, certainly, I think the girls need to come away with they're not this team that we played tonight's not a class separate from us. We are right there with them, and again with, like you said, a few possessions here or both defense or offensively, and it's a different ball game because we were within 6 with a minute left, and then they didn't give us any more help on the free throw line. But offensively, Cassie Keltner coming in, I got her for 22 unofficially. I thought she did a really good job. She also was. It's looked like a triangle and 2 there in the first half, and she was mostly on Jane's, and I thought she done a good job really on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, no, it was straight up man tonight. That we knew which girls we could help off of, but she was responsible for Jane's early, and then in this when Cass picked up her second foul, we put Ryan on her.
Yeah.
And but Jane's and tabling are the two that you got to stop. But Cassidy, it was really nice to see her play the way she did tonight. And I mean, you think back to sectional last year against them, she was a beast out there.
Yeah.
And some kids are like that. There's just certain teams that when they see that jersey that they're going to bring their best game, and she did that tonight. And and I thought Lizzie really battled for a freshman going against that type of competition inside, and it's going to give her confidence for farther down the road.
We actually said that when Lizzie there, especially late in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, we was getting the ball in the middle to both the Keltner girls, and she was going right at the Sabatin girl. And that Sabatin girl, like you said, probably Division I volleyball player and a senior, and it was a freshman versus senior, and I thought she held her own very well tonight.
Yeah, and that's what we preached all week in practice. We knew that they were going to make it difficult on Ryan and Sarah to get shots on the outside. We thought they would probably pressure Lexi, and then that was going to leave our post players one-on-one. And, we asked them to step up, and they certainly did.
Yeah. Overall, Coach, 9-point loss, but again, something I think you can build off of. And what's next for the Lady Senators?
We're going to come in tomorrow and get ready. We got another sectional opponent coming in Saturday night in Edinburgh who, has an outstanding record right now. So it's going to be a different type of game. They are a team that wants to get out and run and shoot a lot of threes, and defense is optional with them. So, hopefully we still got some defense left that we can get some stops. But, if you remember from sectional last year, the Destiny Ramey girl, that girl can flat out shoot the ball. And they've got 5 girls this year on the floor that's doing that. So, it's going to be another tough game.
Well, look forward to that. Any final thoughts here for tonight, Coach?
I was just anxious to see how we would come out and play. And, like I said, I'm extremely happy with our effort.
Yeah, I think certainly should be. So not the way it turned out that we wanted on the wins-loss column, but certainly a good night for the Lady Senators. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yep. That was Coach Darren Russell there giving us his thoughts on tonight's action, where the Lady Senators come up just a little short tonight, 49-40, but against a very good 1A team ranked number 2. And as Coach said, I mean, these aren't just good basketball players. There's the Division I volleyball players on this team. There's Division I basketball players on this team. And then you got a girl already been offered as a freshman. So they've got some tools, but man, I'm proud of our girls tonight. They showed that with all of that resume, we had them hit in the mouth, with the exception of the third quarter, and we just kind of let them get away tonight. But I'm certainly proud of the Lady Senators.
Some exciting action for West Washington, just overall. All kinds of basketball action tonight. But tomorrow night, the boys travel to Perry. That game will not be broadcast on West Washington Livestream, but it will be through WSLM, so you can tune in there and listen to Misty Jones and Mark Gibson as they have that game. Then back here Saturday, a double dip night for the Lady Senators and the Senators. The boys both play Both varsity games will be on Ron Smith Court here in T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. The girls will play first, then the boys will follow, both with Edinburgh, another common sectional opponent. Set that up so that the host school for one of the sectionals would always get to host that event where boys and girls both play. That one will be live on West Washington Livestream, both the boys and the girls. So lots of action going on.
That's exciting. I really like those the Lady Senators and the boys playing on the same night. Both varsity games. Those really bring in good crowds. It's a big, really nice environment. Like Coach said, it's a big game for the Lady Senators. And I tell you what, you've really got to like watching our boys play right now.
Oh yeah.
They that's a special group. Went to the football.
Semi-state.
Yeah, well, went to the banquet last night.
Oh, yeah.
and just really got a more of the human side of these kids. But man, they are they're special to watch. So again, West Washington just got a lot of things going. We come up a little short tonight, but certainly nothing to hang our heads about.
So we're going to go ahead and sign off here. Like we said, tomorrow night's boys game will not be on West Washington Livestream, but the boys-girls doubleheader with Edinburgh will be. So this is Craig Akers with Matthew Deaton signing off. Thank you very much.
Good night.